Audio article by the Common Constitutionalist entitled, "It's Great to Work for the Government." You may have heard that 858 illegal aliens from special interest countries were not deported recently. Rather, they were granted citizenship. Oops. But it only gets better, as Jake Tapper reported that the number isn't a paltry 858. It's actually more than double at over 1,800. Double oops. It was discovered that another 953 were granted the same citizenship status from countries of concern. In all, that's 1,811 persons from other than friendly nations. Fabulous. You might think these illegals must be some smart cookies to pull the wool over the eyes of our Homeland Security Department, but you'd be wrong. Judicial Watch reports that the illegal immigrants fooled our nation's Homeland Security Agency by using different names or birth dates to apply for citizenship. It was that simple, which makes it all the more frightening. But don't worry about a thing, because the Department of Homeland Security responded to the report saying it would review all 1,800 individuals out of an abundance of caution. Well, okay, I feel better. Now, you think that heads would roll for a screw-up this egregious, but this is the public sector where employees don't quit, don't get laid off, nor do they get fired. Unlike the dreaded private sector where performance actually means something and incompetence and misconduct is punished, public sector workers are pretty much secure no matter what they do, like granting citizenship to illegal aliens from less than friendly countries. As an aside, knowing just how corrupt this current administration is from top to bottom, how many of you had the initial thought that this was purposely done and they just made it look like a faux pas? I know I did, and frankly, I still think it is a real possibility. That's 1,811 new Hillary voters. Yay. But no one will be fired for this. No one will be held to account, and no one will be pressured to quit. In the federal government, almost no one gets laid off, no one gets fired, and no one quits. In fact, the rate of people quitting government jobs is over 70% lower than in the private sector. This is at least a voluntary action. But what about layoffs and firings? Well, that's even worse. The rate of firing and layoffs for public employees is over 71% lower than in the private economy. Just 0.4% of government workers ever get the axe. So no one, virtually, leaves government for greener pastures, as they may a private sector position, and the deadwood which collects at every company or department cannot or does not get culled. So this is what we end up with, 1,811 new American citizens who were all slated for deportation. Want some more good news? Government workers are not only infinitely more secure, but they make more, a lot more. According to the latest study by the Cato Institute, government employee compensation is 76% higher than that of the private sector. 76%. That's insane. In 2015, Cato determined that the average wage of federal employees was over $86,000 per year compared to $58,000 for the private sector. Then they calculated the total federal employee compensation, salary, and benefits, and the numbers are even more staggering. You may want to sit down and duct tape your head for this one. The tape won't prevent your head from exploding, but as Glenn Beck says, the skull fragments will at least stay together, making it easier to reassemble. In 2015, total federal compensation averaged, you ready for this? $123,160, or 76% more than the private sector average of $69,901. That, my friends, is why no one ever leaves government voluntarily. And add to the absurd compensation package the massive amount of red tape required to release someone, and we end up with incompetence on parade. Oh, and 1,811 freshly minted Democrats. And thanks for listening.